Welcome back. I'm Margot Farrell. You may know that June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. The color to represent those causes, purple. If you were watching the Fox 61 Morning News this weekend, you may have caught that some of us were decked out in our finest purple in support. There's more and more evidence that shows that your body's health may impact the health of your brain. There's a special presentation that's going to be hosted by the Alzheimer's Association Connecticut chapter. That's happening later on this week. But joining us this morning to tell us a little bit more about this disease, Dr. Laura Baker, who is an expert in lifestyle and reducing dementia risk. She is out of Wake Forest. She's also the lead investigator of an important dementia prevention study. Dr. Baker, thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here.
We really want to shed some light on this, not only because June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, but just because there's so many people who are impacted this by their own family members. What do you think is the most important thing that people should know or look out for when it comes to, diseases and impacts on your brain?
Well, I think what most of us forget is that what we do to our bodies and how we care for our bodies actually has impact for the health of our brain. And I think so often we ignore that possibility, and we forget that the brain is connected to the body, and so that it's so important that all the things that we naturally do to take care of your body, like take care of your blood pressure, your blood sugar, exercise, eat right, has everything to do with how your brain ages as we get older.
Now, obviously, there are some genetic components that put you more at risk. Can you touch on some other things that might make you more susceptible to developing some of these issues later on in life?
Sure, absolutely. So as we get older, there's many different factors that affect how we age. And of course, as you mentioned, genetics is one, but there are so many other factors. For example, how we've lived our lives for the last 20, 30, 40 years. And what kind of shape is your body on your organs? What kind of shape are they in? And if they have been in disrepair because we've abused them, which is so easy for us all to do, is that it can have consequences for how your brain ages over time. So in particular, in any healthy lifestyle approach to protecting brain health, we always want to be very careful about watching your blood pressure, making sure it's in the normal range, watching your blood sugar, making sure it's in the normal range, but also making sure there's other things that we can do that don't have to necessarily do with taking care of the medical component of your body. Like, for example, staying connected to other people. I know this is very difficult in times of social distancing, but there are other ways to stay connected to individuals, like for Zoom calls or web conferencing, such as this. And it's also really important to stay active and move your body. Our bodies were built to move. Our systems are in their best shape in terms of your glucose use, your lipids, your blood pressure, if we are moving our bodies. And when we stop moving our bodies, those different systems start to become impaired in some way. And that can have long-term consequences for the health of the brain.
Certainly some good things to keep in mind there. And as the lead investigator here on this study for dementia prevention, can you share perhaps the most interesting finding that you've come across so far?
The study U.S. Pointer was developed based on the results of a study that was conducted in Finland about 5 to 7 years ago. And in Finland, what they found is that in over 1,200 people, when people participated in more healthy lifestyle behaviors like exercise, eating a different diet with more fruits and vegetables, more fish, staying more engaged with other people, their memory and thinking skills did not decline over time. And these are in people who were at higher risk for developing a memory impairment over time. So those results in Finland, we are trying to reproduce those results here in the United States. As you know, as you might expect, Americans are very different than the people who live in Finland. We have very different culture. We have very different behaviors in terms of our driving, the foods that we eat. And so what works in Finland may not work in America. But so this is our job in U.S. Pointer to figure out, does it work in America? And if so, what are the specific healthy lifestyle behaviors for Americans that might help protect brain health over time.
Well, Dr. Baker, we really appreciate you joining us on the morning show and shedding some insight on this really important topic.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Okay, coming up next on the Fox 61 Morning News, a Christopher Columbus statue.